Okay, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to change the internal heater matrix on your Mk3 Octavia, modern VW Golf, Seat Leon, or Audi A4. Let's get into it. So first thing we've got to do is remove this trim panel just underneath the glove box. This is obviously a right-hand drive, it's a UK model. If you're using a left-hand drive model, then you'll need to remove it on the driver's side rather than the passenger side. There she goes. There is the internal heater matrix. We're going to remove this bit of trim here so that we can get to the blower motor and remove that. There she goes. I think she's out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the glove box. We've got the engine up to temperature, so now let's go ahead and drain the coolant. Clip off, get the engine running again, get it really hot, make sure that thermostat is wide open. As you can see, I've got this coolant guide going into this, it's actually a motorcycle drip tray. Let's give it a minute. I've left the drain tray underneath the engine as well, just so that coolant's got that preferential route to travel. So while that's finishing off, I'm going to go ahead and just connect that all back up. Okay, so before we put it back on, I'm just going to put this clip back on. The reason for that is that it gives you a nice solid click when you put the whole assembly back on. Clips on and engaged, full the way down, right? And there you go, you get that nice loud click. No leakage at all on that one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these Torx screws that are holding this cover in. It's pretty simple, they are T15s. Yeah. Right, go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull out the heater matrix now. This clip here is holding this bottom pipe in really rigidly. It's quite hard to get any play on that, so you've really got to pull down very hard, be quite aggressive with that clip, and then pull down on that pipe. There it goes. That's the way it goes in, so the right angle one going into the footwell, top one coming straight out. Okay, so just going to go ahead and remove these old seals and replace them. As you can see, it's quite mucky. Now we can get the new one in. So let's go ahead and get these pipes on. Let's flip this one over. Now it's in, let's get that cap on. Okay, let's tighten them up. Okay. Let's go ahead and get these pipes on there. This will be the interesting bit. Okay, so they're both on. I'm obviously going to be worried about leaks, so I'm going to go ahead and refill the system, bleed it out, and then we'll check. Okay, so now we can go ahead and refill the coolant and check for any leaks before we put all the panels and covers back on. Let's bleed her out. Let's get engine off, ignition on. There we go. Get everything off. There we go. Okay, engine. Going to go to security access. 27971. Now let's just set the adaptations. Bleed cooling circuit. Active. Yes. Brake pedal, release brake pedal, pedal accelerator, release accelerator. Okay, it is running. Give it a minute. So unfortunately it's gone horribly wrong, there's been a leak, and it's because these pipes aren't quite set in the new heater matrix as they should be, and you can just see on this clip here it's not quite over the lip of the actual heater there, so for that reason it's not quite holding it far enough in, and because it's not holding it quite far enough in, coolant's coming out. So let's put it off. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bit of silicone grease onto these rubber rings to help the seal. So I think that might be why we didn't get the seal we wanted from it. So there we go, got a bit of silicone grease on there. Okay, that looks like it's going in really nice and square. Okay, so when I put this clamp on the heater matrix connection, I actually found that it's just moving quite freely, and I'm finding even on the old, I wondered if it was to do with the fact that I used a cheap matrix, but even on the old one, if I put that on there, hold it all the way in, and it's still, as you can see, it's travelling quite freely, and it shouldn't. It must be that this is somehow expanded slightly as a result of the removal process. I spoke to Skoda, they've got these in stock as a kit, but they can't get them for 4 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just use a bit of a bodge, but cut off a finger from a rubber glove. I'm just going to use that as a spacer. All we need is a little bit of friction, right? A little bit of an extra space to get that to clamp around, and with that being there, it will fit quite nicely and quite snugly. Yeah, that's a bit more fun than it was, that's for sure. Okay, so I've got some grease on this O-ring now. Let's get her on there. It should help with silicone grease, by the way, so that won't affect the rubber negatively at all. See, that's nice and tight. No problem with that one, so it does make me wonder a bit about the other one, to be honest. Okay, so now we're going to try and refill the cooling system again. Engine 27971. Okay, and then adaptation, just check we're still in cooling mode, which we are, which is fine, so we don't have to redo that. And then SQ access again, same again. 27971. Okay. Basic settings. Cooling circuit. Okay, let's get the engine on. It's running, so we need to top it up quickly. And we have got a leak, but this time only from the top, not from the bottom. So as I thought, that top one wasn't seated properly, so we're going to have to do it all again. So I'm just going to put some grease on this guy. As on as tight as I can possibly get it. So let's give it a go and see if it's going to leak or not. Let's go ahead and bleed it out. Bleed the cooling circuit. Let's start the engine. And here we go. Brake pedal, throttle pedal. There we go. Get some coolant in there. So far so good. Okay, so good news, has now finished the first bleeding round. I'm probably going to do this 3 times, but I'm not going to bore you with this. Obviously it's finished correctly, which is great. So once you've done the main system bleed, you actually need to do this thing called a low temperature circuit bleed, and what that does is it activates the electric coolant motors which you have on the coolant circuit, and they do things like feeding coolant into certain places where you might not want it all the time. So the coolant pump, the main coolant pump on the engine driven by the cam belt, that will drive it to the places where it's needed all the time. And then there's electric pumps, there's 2 of them, and they feed it to places where you don't want it all the time. That's part of the strategy that VW have adopted when they designed this engine. So you need to do this low temperature circuit bleeding. Now there is a bit of a bug in VCDS, or I found there was. So basically it never tells you when it's done. Okay, so it's worth doing these measuring values that I'm putting on the screen now, and that'll give you some reassurance that it is actually doing what it's meant to be doing, especially that last one, that currently running routine one. But I'll put all of the IDE value numbers in the description as well to save you pausing it and whatnot. But basically I just ran this for about 5 minutes then I just cancelled out of there and ran it again for another 5 minutes, and then did the same thing again. So I ran it 3 times, 5 minutes each time, and that should be sufficient. As long as you keep your coolant topped up, that should be sufficient. Get the adaptation turned off for heating and whatnot. Okay. Absolutely nothing coming out of there at all. So now we can go ahead and get everything else back together now. Let's just check the heat of it. Yeah, that's properly hot. And the other one, yeah, they're both very hot. Okay, so now we can go ahead and refit the blower fan motor. It's actually quite simple. Now we're going to get the foot vent. The air coming from here goes through this guy here. So we need to bend this back a little bit to get it in place, but it should be fine. It's kind of felt guy in as well. Just putting on this bit of trim which we took off earlier. Tighten up the screw in here. Okay, time to replace the glove box. I've got a much more detailed video on how to do this, so check out the link in the description for that if you need it. Perfect. Hey guys, I really hope that was of help. Do please leave me a comment if it helped you, or if you found something that was a little bit different, or that you found a better way of doing, because this is a community, we want to help each other out. I've got a whole load more videos coming up on this Mk3 Octavia, including a cam belt, injector seal seating. Later on in the year, we've got the DPF swap as well as the turbo change. So there's a whole load of stuff going on this Octavia. Plus, I've got a whole load of Ford Focus stuff and a whole load of motorcycle stuff coming up as well. So loads more to come. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.